Yesterday, the news that the police had arrested 5 suspects in connection with the murder of Senzo Meyiwa was met with relief and joy. But today in court, confusion, miscommunication and suspects adamant they have nothing to do with the footballer's murder. I'm joined now by the spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority, Sipho Ngwema. Good evening, Mr. Ngwema. Thank you very much for your time. I spoke to Gerry Nel a little earlier, and he said the fact that the 5 suspects refused to go into the dock and are absolutely adamant that they are innocent doesn't actually mean a thing. Yesterday, the police said they had a rock-solid case. Do you feel, as the NPA, that you are equally confident in the merits of this case?
Good evening, and thanks, Sally, for having me on the show. We still believe that the police have presented a good case. We have a good case before the magistrate. We are used to the theatrics. Anybody who attends court knows that most of the time you will find those kinds of dramatics in court. And of course, most accused, they always say they are not guilty, but you know what normally happens, more than 80% of the time, they are found guilty. So we are confident of the case that has been brought to us by the police, and we believe that if they were to follow up on further questions that we need, probably there would be further arrest and we'll be able to go to trial once that has been done.
One of the areas of somewhat confusion today was the police had told AfriForum that they believe this is a hit. And then there was some suggestion that the NPA thought it might still be a botched robbery. Could you explain exactly whether the NPA and the police are on the same page, that this was indeed an organised hit on Senzo Meyiwa?
There is no way that we and the police cannot be on the same page. You must remember we work together. And they bring the evidence to us. We interact with them, and we took the Director of Public Prosecutions took a decision on Wednesday based on the mountains of evidence that were brought by the police, and further instructions, of course, were issued. So there is no confusion whatsoever. I think that what may be happening with other people is they may have certain information, or they may have had certain rumors, and therefore think that the state, the police and the prosecution must act on that without that being proven as credible evidence. So that means more work has to be done. And once that work has been done, we should be able to finalize the indictment, and we should be able to start with the trial. But there is no doubt with the evidence that we have on the 3 things that we have looked at and we have satisfied ourselves, including the fact that there is a gun that was found in one of the suspects, ballistically proven that is linked to the crime scene, the bullet that was found that went into Senzo. So that evidence, and including others that I may not mention, unfortunately, at this stage, has made the case that the police have brought very strong, and therefore the prosecution took a decision to prosecute on the basis of sufficient evidence brought before it, and we believe that it is a good case. And at this stage, in terms of the 5 accused, we can be able to mount a case with reasonable prospects of success.
Right, so you believe it is a strong case. Are you sure that it was an assassination?
That's why I'm saying that at this stage, we presented an indictment, and that indictment points to the involvement of the accused that were there. In terms of other things that, other theories that may exist, let's see what happens once the trial starts. For now, we are following up on a number of things that need to be followed up. And at this stage, we presented the evidence that is sufficient for us to press the charges that we have pressed. If further information points to other things or is solidified in terms of other theories, we'll be able to continue on that. As I said, a lot of work still has to be done, and the police are following up on many things that they have to follow up on. But at this stage, we have charged the accused on the basis of the credible evidence that we have.
I need a more clear answer from you, because 5 people could be involved in a robbery gone wrong as well. So do the police and the NPA sit on the same page that this was a targeted hit on Senzo Meyiwa or not?
No, that's why I'm saying I'm not answering the part on the target hit for obvious reasons, as I said. The credible evidence that we can prove before a court now suggests the charges that we have put before the magistrate. Further work has to be done. If there are other things that may arise given the investigations that are going to take place, we'll take the case forward. But for now, in terms of credible evidence that we're sure presents a good case, are the charges of murder and attempted murder and the others with regard to theft and so on. But if there's a further solid evidence which points to the issues you want to raise, there's no doubt that we'll continue on that path.
I have to ask you as well if you can give us a comment on the arrest on Tuesday of ANC MP Bongani Bongo. Can you give us more details on the charges that he faces, his co-accused? We understand there may be as many as 10, and his appearance, which is in court on Wednesday.
What I'm aware of, Sally, is the fact that tomorrow there's a court appearance with regards to corruption, money laundering and fraud at the magistrate's court here in Nelspruit. Who the accused are and what exactly happened, that will be presented in court. I think in terms of the protocols and the rules, let's see what happens tomorrow, but there's no doubt there's a number of accused that are going to appear tomorrow with regards to the charges that I have mentioned.
Well, thank you very much. That is the spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority, Sipho Ngwema.